The lights in my house flickered at dusk. Not a big shudder, just a quick dip like the power taking a shallow breath. I was cleaning tack in my worn leather chair when it happened again, longer this time. After 30 years of marriage, Lena and I don't need words. Her look from the kitchen doorway said, "What is it?" Mine back said, "I'm going to find out." I walked to the window, checking the utility pole and fence line. Karen Lewis's house blazed with lights as usual. Porch lights, garden lights, floods on the trees. Her lights looked steady, so the problem was on my land. Outside with my flashlight, I checked the meter box first. The power company's lead seal was intact. Following the underground cable toward the fence, I found it fresh disturbed ground about 10 feet from the property line. Someone had tried to hide it with sod, but they did a sloppy job. The dirt formed a dark scar running straight from my power line to the fence, then continuing to the common area toward Karen's property. Standing there in the dark, a cold certainty settled in my gut. Someone was stealing my electricity, and they'd left a map pointing to their door. "Get your phone, Lena," I said when I returned. "Start recording. We need to document everything." I flipped the main breaker, killing power to the house, then locked it with a heavy padlock. We filmed each step. The lock breaker, the secured outdoor outlets. Everything time-stamped. Building a case brick by brick. I called the power company's theft hotline first. The woman gave me case number 7-2-1, B, and an email for evidence. Next, the sheriff's non-emergency line. Deputy Miller took the report, gave me a case number, and advised treating the trench like a crime scene. Karen Lewis is the HOA president, the kind who measures grass height with a ruler and files complaints about visible trash cans. She thinks she's the law. For someone like her to do this wasn't just theft, it was arrogance. She'd mistaken my quiet nature for weakness. 2 days later, a pink envelope appeared under my truck's wiper. Inside was a violation notice. I breached HOA Covenant 12.4 for interference with community utility infrastructure by placing unauthorized locks on community accessible power sources. Fine, $500. The second page was better. An emergency bylaw titled Mandatory Resource Sharing During Grid Instability. Due to power fluctuations she was causing, the board granted her emergency authority to designate utility support hubs. My home was now required to provide power to neighbors with service deficits. Failure to remove locks, $1,000 per day. When Karen came to my door with 2 board members, I was ready. "There are no violations," I told her. "Just a crime, the one you're committing." She demanded I remove the locks, claiming it was sharing, not stealing. I kept my voice low for the camera, recording everything. "Show me the law that says I have to let you steal from me." "It's not stealing, it's sharing," she said, voice rising. "You have plenty of power. My landscape lighting is essential for security. The meter calls it theft. Your spotlights can sleep." When she threatened to put a lien on our property, I remained calm. "You have nothing. You have a pink piece of paper with lies." I have case numbers from the power company and sheriff. The next morning, Dave from the power company's theft unit arrived. He examined the trench, called it a textbook illegal tap, amateur job. He installed a digital monitor at my meter to record power usage in real time while my main breaker stayed off. Deputy Miller arrived next, took my formal statement, and had a brilliant idea. "She's claiming your equipment is community property, right? Let's schedule an official site inspection during the next board meeting. Power company, sheriff, county electrical inspector. We'll frame it as a community safety inspection based on her own emergency notice." The trap was set. She couldn't refuse an official inspection for community safety. For 3 nights, our trail cameras caught only raccoons and deer. Then at 2:13 a.m. on the 4th night, motion triggered the camera. Karen's handyman, Frank, was at my meter box with wire cutters and a counterfeit seal, trying to disable the monitor. He cut the official seal, but when a red tamper light started flashing, he panicked and ran. We had it all on time-stamped video. Felony tampering with utility equipment. I called Dave immediately. "The monitor is screaming its head off right now," he confirmed. "Email that video to me and Deputy Miller. This changes everything. We're no longer just investigating theft. We're investigating felony evidence tampering. The public site check was scheduled for Tuesday at 5 p.m., right before the monthly board meeting. Word spread through the neighborhood. People were tired of Karen's arbitrary rules and constant fines. By inspection time, 40 neighbors had gathered on our lawn. Karen arrived in her power suit, beaming at the crowd, thinking they were there to celebrate her leadership. She had no idea what was about to happen. The county chief electrical inspector put on leather gloves and opened my service panel. Inside was the ugly truth. 2 thick illegal cables clamped onto the main lugs, bypassing all safety systems, snaking into ground toward her house. The crowd gasped. Even those who knew nothing about electricity could see this was wrong. "Ladies and gentlemen," the inspector announced, "what you are looking at is a highly dangerous illegal electrical tap. These unfused connections are a major fire hazard for the entire grid." Karen's face went pale. "I've never seen that before. Ben must have done it." Dave stepped forward with his data. "Our monitor recorded significant power draw even with the homeowner's main breaker off. The draw stopped 72 hours ago, and we registered tampering at 2:13 a.m. yesterday." The scope camera followed the wires underground, showing their path straight to Karen's property. Deputy Miller produced a warrant, and the inspector ordered immediate disconnection of her power. As Dave pulled Karen's meter and installed a lockout plate, she screamed, "I'm the HOA president." "Right now, you're a felony suspect," the inspector replied. "Your title doesn't matter." The reckoning had come, and justice was methodical, quiet, and sure. With Karen's power cut and her illegal tap exposed, the inspector delivered the financial blow. Based on our calculations, the stolen electricity totals approximately $7,800. Civil penalties can reach $15,000 for illegal taps and tampering, plus investigation costs, disconnection fees, and repair expenses to Mr. Morrison's property. Karen stared, mouth agape. She was looking at over $20,000 in bills and fines before any criminal charges. "The HOA will cover it," she whispered. Deputy Miller shook his head. "The investigation shows the power went directly to your house only. The responsibility is yours alone." He turned to the 2 board members trying to disappear. "You might want your lawyer to review that emergency bylaw. Issuing fraudulent fines could open the board to civil lawsuits." The board members backed away from Karen like she was contagious, abandoning their queen. While Karen stood stunned, Lena dropped the tailgate of our truck with a bang. On her clipboard was a petition for Karen's immediate recall as HOA president. According to our bylaws, the president can be removed with signatures from 25% of homeowners. Mrs. Porter, the elderly woman Karen had fined for a non-approved white door, stepped forward first. Mike the accountant followed. Then others. Soon a line formed. People talked in normal voices, not whispers. The fear was gone. Within 20 minutes, more than half the neighborhood had signed. The recall was official. Karen stumbled to her SUV and drove away. No one watched her go. They were focused on the future, on rebuilding. The next day, electricians hired by the HOA's insurance company arrived to clean up the mess. They dug up the illegal line, showed me Karen's secret secondary panel in her garage, and repaired my service completely. The HOA board, with a new acting president, sent a formal apology and voided all fines. During the special meeting to rewrite bylaws, Lena and I made sure new rules prevented any president from abusing power again. The community began healing. More waves, more conversations over fences. The petty fear Karen cultivated was replaced by shared purpose. Karen's insurance sent a check covering the stolen electricity plus damages. It wasn't about money. It was about principle, making things right. The law moved slowly but surely. We'd done our part gathering evidence and presenting facts. Now we let the system work. We didn't need to follow her court case. Our justice was quiet and methodical. The justice of balanced ledgers, repaired fences, and a community set free. A month later, I sat on the porch at dusk. The air smelled of cut grass and coming rain. Our lights glowed steady and warm. No flicker. The new sod had taken root. The scar was gone. My land looked whole again. Karen's house stood dark behind a for sale sign. It had been dark since the day they threw the switch and locked the socket. It would stay dark until a new owner earned power back. Mike arrived with fresh bread from his wife. Thank you. Feels different now, he said, nodding toward the dark house. My wife put her bird feeder back up. No nasty letters. We sleep better. We didn't do much, I said. Just follow the law. He shook his head. You showed us it works. You were calm, kept records, built a case like a spreadsheet. Every box in place. He told us about the new board. Open meetings, real budgets. Fixing roads instead of chasing paint shades and garden hoses. After he left, Lena sat beside me. What are you thinking? Justice, I said. Not revenge, not noise. Just putting things back where they belong. I looked at our house with lights on, then at Karen's with lights off. Scales balanced. Even. Karen thought power came from titles and pink letters. She was wrong. Real power is facts, timestamps, photos, and people who won't scare. We made little choices that mattered. Lock the breaker. Film the steps. Call the right people. Sit tight when it was hard. Let truth do the heavy lifting. That's the work. Slow. Plain. Sure. We stood our ground without shouting. We kept our heads. In the end, we didn't just win a fight. We set things right. The for sale sign clicked in the wind. Tomorrow, some new family would see a quiet street, a clean board, and lessons baked into new bylaws. No queen. No fear. My land is my own. My power is my own. My home is safe. We faced down someone who thought she was above the law by using the law itself. Patiently, methodically, completely. Sometimes the best victories are the quietest ones, where justice moves like water finding its level, steady and sure. The crickets started their nightly song. The porch boards were warm under my boots. Lena smiled and squeezed my hand. We'd done all right. We'd done all right indeed.